This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Big game today and no way to watch it? Sling lets you do that with Day Pass. Get instant access to live college football starting at just $4.99. One Day Pass gives you 24 hours of nonstop action on ESPN and ESPN2. Want SEC or ACC Network too? Just add Sports Extra for $1. No contracts, no hassle, just pure unfiltered game day. Sling lets you do that. Visit sling.com to learn more.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special last-minute edition of the Keeping Karlsson Matchup Maximizer podcast, a podcast where I, Elan Dabrowski, take a look at next week's NHL schedule and try to figure out who are the players we should be targeting to maximize the number of games played we'll be getting in our head-to-head matchups. The idea here is that when you're looking at free agency, you may just want to take the best player available, but that might be dumb because you might look at your roster and all the days that player that you're adding plays, like you're already full. And so you just added someone, you can't even place them in, you wasted the ad. Instead, you got to add players that are going to get games for you so that you will, maximize your points. Hopefully win. This is the first episode of Matchup Maximizer for the season. We're going to do this every weekend, looking at next week's schedule. So without further ado, let's look at the weird week 1 schedule. Weird, it's a strange week because the season only starts Tuesday. There's also no games Friday. Basically, we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, super light, 3 games and 4 games, and then Thursday and Saturday, super busy. We've got all the teams playing Saturday, all the teams before playing on Thursday, and then Sunday, just a single game, Rangers versus Washington. So there aren't too many teams to target. A lot of teams are just playing Thursday, Saturday. Pretty likely that you're already full on Thursday and Saturday. So we're going to be trying to find players on teams that don't play Thursday, Saturday, basically. And everyone who's been involved with drafts so far, if you watched our Tier 1 auction draft, everyone's going after LA Kings. LA is the team to go for because they are the only team that play both Tuesday and Wednesday. So I guess the idea there is you get that player, you get the Tuesday, Wednesday, then you could even swap out for someone who plays Thursday. Say you have an open D spot on Thursday or a goalie spot, you like get your 2 games, get out. Who can you get on LA in free agency? Well, the thing that's going on in LA is that Alex Laferriere is currently injured. I don't think we know the latest of if he's even going to play or not. I'm recording this Monday afternoon. With Laferriere out, it's been Yoel Armia, recently signed from the Habs, who's been playing on the line with Fiala and Byfield. So I would say if that holds, Armia becomes a pretty tempting guy for those 2 games. That's a really good spot to be. The lines have been Kopitar, Kempe, Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko only 20% rostered on Yahoo, by the way. It's hard. I have to always wrap my head around. We just have drafted all of the Keeping Karlsson Ultimate Patron Fantasy League leagues. And for those, Kuzmenko's drafted in every league. It's a pretty deep league, right? But maybe if you're in a shallower league, grab Kuzmenko. I would say that's a no-brainer. That's like get them Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe you're even holding for longer because he's been playing on the top line and top power play. LA's been running a 5-forward top power play of Kopitar, Kempe, Kuzmenko, Fiala, Byfield. The only one there you're going to be able to get is potentially Kuzmenko. But if you can't get a top power player and you can't get Alex Laferriere, who might not even play, I think the next best for me right now is Yoel Armia. I know a lot of people have been grabbing Fogle or Deneau or Moore. That's, I guess, our standard third line on LA that gets a lot of minutes. So yeah, if you can't get someone playing with Byfield or Fiala, then you can't go wrong with a couple games from Fogle, Deneau, and Moore. I'm sure each of them will get a point. You'd think probably 2 of the 3 of them will get 1 point. That's my prediction. You can grab a defenseman. You can get Cody Ceci, Dumoulin. I don't know who's out there, right? Like Cece's probably going to play a lot of minutes. That they're a pairing actually. Edmondson, then you're just like, this is super low flow. This is like you're hoping for just a few blocks and maybe a lucky assist. But to me, Armia is interesting. I added him to my couple division this morning. I hope that it's not nice to say, but I kind of hope Laferriere stays out because otherwise Armia is just a fourth liner and a lot less interesting. So that's the LA Kings. Oh, and I guess the other thing to consider is a goalie, right? They're going to play Tuesday against Colorado and Wednesday at Vegas. I'd imagine that our backup goalie, Anton Forsberg, is going to get one of those games. I'd imagine the Wednesday game. Do you want Forsberg on the road against Vegas? On the tail end of a back-to-back for LA? That's for you to decide, but that's a guy who's probably out there in free agency unless someone's already jumped the gun. And, getting a goalie game could be good. LA should be good. I don't know. We'll see this year with their new look defense. So that's, I guess, the main team that everyone's been targeting. We do have a few other teams that play 2 times this week outside of Thursday and Saturday. So we can go next to the New York Rangers. They play 4 times this week. The only team that does so. Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, Sunday. The Rangers are tough, though. They're a tough team to stream from. Like, assuming that Cooley and Lafreniere are taken, those are our less than 50% rostered guys on Yahoo. Everyone else, like, just not that interesting. I'm not even sure who I could recommend. Like, you look at the lines today, and we've been seeing Cooley, Miller, Zibanejad as one line, then Trocheck, Panarin, Lafreniere as another line. And then the bottom 6, just, I don't know, Connor Sherry. I don't even know if he's signed his contract yet. Laba, Radish, that's a line. Edstrom, Carrick, or Rempe, that's another line. I can't recommend any of these people, right? Like, probably someone's going to get a point, but I'm not interested in any of these players beyond just the volume. I guess you can look on defense. So Adam Fox will for sure be taken. Maybe Gavrikov is out there in your league. And Gavrikov, obviously not a big offensive guy, but he's going to play big minutes. He's on a new team. Maybe it'll be exciting to have a big start. I don't know. I could see Gavrikov having a couple points over those 4 games just to get started. Braden Schneider, maybe. It's good for peripherals sometimes. So yeah, probably my pick would be Gavrikov. And look, especially if you can fit, like if you only have 3D for a 4D spots and you're actually getting 4 games played, then maybe you're better off getting Gavrikov than someone on another team like a forward who we expect to, in general, get more points, but only plays twice for you. Like 4 games, that's decent volume right there where you would expect like at least 1 point, maybe some hits and blocks. That's not bad. Okay, so Gavrikov, I guess, is our guy on the Rangers. The only other team that has 2 games outside of Thursday and Saturday is the Washington Capitals. Who can we look at on Washington? So they're playing, by the way, Wednesday and then Saturday, Sunday, right? So it's that Sunday game of Rangers and Washington that we're targeting here. Okay, this is tough also. Like, it really depends how deep your league is, right? Like, in Cupful, I can't get anybody. Maybe, like, you're not getting Ovi, you're not getting Strome, Wilson, probably not Protas, probably not Dubois. Maybe you're in a deep enough league, or a shallow enough league, I should say. Maybe Connor McMichael would be out there. McMichael's been on the line with Dubois and Wilson, so he would be my top get out of people that are like less than 50% rostered on Washington, because he's in the top 6. Then we're like looking to the bottom 6, because the lines have been Strome, Protas, Ovi, and then Dubois, Wilson, McMichael. So if you're looking at a bottom 6er, probably Ryan Leonard is the most exciting. Looks like he's making the team. High pedigree prospect. Who knows what he can do for you? So I would be interested in Leonard. He's been playing on a line with Laperriere and Beauvillier. I guess you can go Beauvillier. But yeah, my pick for Washington would be Ryan Leonard. It's fun. New guy in the league. Let's see what he can do. If you want to go defense, assuming you can't get Carlson or Chychrun, maybe you take a look at Erasmus Sandin, Martin Fehervary. Not that exciting, but maybe available to you to get that volume of those 3 games. I guess for defense, potentially you could even fit a Thursday guy. It obviously depends on your roster. All right, so those are the teams that give you 2 games outside of the 2 busy days. Maybe it's still fun to just look through some of the teams that have games early on in the week, just to see if you want to just grab a quick stream and then you move on to someone else. So I'll get to those in just a sec. Football is back, and so is your shot at big wins with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Here's the play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, from breakout rookies to elite quarterbacks, and unlock the upside every snap brings. The better your calls, the bigger your payout. I'm taking a look at the games for tomorrow, Monday, October 6th. You can go with T. Etienne Jr., a running back, Travis Etienne Jr., 0.5 rush plus receiving touchdowns. Is he going to have one or none? Or more than one, I guess. More or less than 0.5. That's a fun one to chew on. Oh, Patrick Mahomes. I've heard of him. Quarterback for Kansas City. You can go and decide if he's going to have 248.5 passing yards, more or less. What does he usually do? I don't know. Take a look. That may help you decide. And hey, here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including in New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary. But the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe, fast-tracking your way to being debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back significantly less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of 5-star reviews and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
Weight loss solutions are not one size fits all. Hers makes it simpler to get started and stick with a weight loss plan, backed by expert-guided online care that puts your weight loss goals first. These include oral medication kits or compounded GLP-1 injections. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits start at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help through Hers. Get started at forhers.com/4u to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/4u, forhers.com/4u. Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com. Apply.
Welcome back to Matchup Maximizer. I'm Elan. I'm looking through next week's NHL schedule. Just taking a peek at some teams now that play either Tuesday or Wednesday. And maybe you'll be able to squeeze in that game. Then you move on. By the way, I'm recording this Monday. Yahoo Leagues only start tomorrow on Tuesday, which means any ads you make right now don't count towards your ad limit. So this is the time to just... And by the way, here's a sneaky move you can do. If you got 4 IR spots and you're planning on dropping someone, you got an opening, before you add the replacement, find who's in IR, stash all those people. This morning, I added Falk, I added Owen Power, and I added Joseph Woll. So they're in my IR. And then I added Wedgwood, who's going to be here. There's a reco for you right there, by the way. If he's still out there, I don't think we know. It's 1 p.m. right now, and we haven't seen yet anything about if Blackwood is back for Colorado or not. So Wedgwood might get that first game against LA, and that could be a good goalie stream for sure. So I added him. I'll drop him on Wednesday, most likely, unless word comes out that Blackwood's going to be out for longer. So yeah, anyways, that's a strategy. Stash your IR, people in your IR while you have unlimited ads, fill it up, and then definitely, go for someone that plays Tuesday, Wednesday with the plan. And it's a short week, right? So you're going to be able to really... How many moves are you really going to make anyways? So you might as well grab someone even just for Tuesday with the plan to drop them Wednesday, get that one extra game. So, okay, I'm going to go through all the teams that play either Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's just go Alf. alphabetical order here. Start in Boston. Who are we going to... So Boston is playing Wednesday against Washington and then Thursday, Saturday. So 3 games. So we're going to assume you're not going to get Thursday, Saturday. That'll be a nice bonus for you if you can fit a Thursday game. Can't imagine you'll fit a Saturday game. So who can we get on Boston? You're probably not getting Pasternak or McAvoy or Geeky, but maybe like anyone else, depending how deep your league is. You can look at Elias Lindholm, who's been on the top line with Pasternak and Geeky and also the top power play. You can get Zacha, who's been on the top power play, playing on the second line with Middlestad and Arvidsson. So yeah, definitely my order of priority would be Elias Lindholm, then Zacha, then maybe Arvidsson, but honestly, maybe even just take a look at defense and go Hampus Lindholm, who had a bit of a nice run last year before getting hurt. I'd be interested to see what he'll do fully healthy. So I think those are the 3 that I'd be targeting on Boston that are not rostered in too many leagues. Lindholm is at 20%, Zacha 7%, and Lindholm down to 7% as well. So after Boston, we can talk about the Calgary Flames. They play Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So if you have an opening Thursday, you can maybe get a Tuesday guy, then get the Wednesday, Thursday. Boston also plays Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay, so Calgary has like a lot of options. Calgary's like one of the best teams for streaming potentially this season because they don't have many people that are rostered in a lot of leagues, but they have a lot of roster spots. Like, they've got to fill a top power play, you got to fill a top 6, and there's a lot of people potentially available. Like, you're not going to get Kadri, you're not going to get the D. It's all the D that are rostered, right? Uyghur, Anderson, Zane Parekh. You probably won't get Huberdeau. If you can get Matt Coronado, he's like a slam dunk for me. I think he's going to be like really good and a season hold. Not the type of person you need to be talking about on Roster Maximizer or Matchup Maximizer, whatever my podcast is called. But he's only 19% rostered on Yahoo. So Matt Coronado, take a look at. Beyond him, who are we looking at? I'll tell you a name that I like. Morgan Frost had a huge preseason, 7 points in 5 games. He's been playing on the second line, first line, I don't know, Frost, Coronado, and I think it would be Huberdeau in that third spot, but Huberdeau's been injured, so Matvei Gridin has been there, so who knows what will happen there. But if Frost is with Coronado, and then Frost has been on the top power play also, that's a pretty sweet spot. So, you combine it all, good preseason, good line mate. I like Coronado. Top power play. What more do you want? So Morgan Frost, I think, is a pretty good bet. There's also like on the opposite end of the spectrum of like, an upside play. You can get the floor play. Get your Blake Coleman. He's Blake Coleman. You know what you'll get maybe a point here and there, some shots, some hits. He gives it all. He's also triple eligible, so he'll fit anywhere on your roster. I like Blake Coleman. Just don't expect too much, but expect something. Morgan Frost could give you like a game with no shots and no points. It won't be so surprising. That's pretty rare for a Blake Coleman. So those would be the 2 that I'd be targeting. And then maybe you could look at a Joel Farabee, who also got some power play time. If Huberdeau stays injured, maybe Farabee can stick on the top power play for a little bit. So he'd be the other person. It's Frost and Farabee that came from Philadelphia last year. So that's the Calgary Flames. And again, with a back-to-back, I guess I should have mentioned with Boston also, Korpisalo will probably play Thursday against Chicago after Swayman plays Wednesday against Washington. So that could be a really good start for Korpisalo. Calgary goes Edmonton and then Vancouver. So maybe, what is it? Devin Cooley, I think, is the goalie that made the team. Do you want to add him for a game against Vancouver on Thursday? I don't know. I'll just leave that to you to decide. I'm not going to recommend that. Okay, next team that plays on either Tuesday or Wednesday, we got Chicago. They go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Chicago, another team that could end up being really good for streaming if they can score some goals this year. You're not going to get Bedard. You're not going to get Sam Renzel. If you can get Sam Renzel, go get Sam Renzel. I'm telling you, he's looking really good. But I think the word is out. He's already 38% rostered and climbing. Ryan Donato, probably you can't get. I see only 29% in Yahoo. But I think for people in serious leagues that are listening to this podcast, I'd be surprised if you can just add Ryan Donato out of free agency. I guess if it's a shallow enough league, then go for it because he's been playing on the top line with Bedard, though not the top power play. The power play in preseason has been Bedard and then Teravainen, Nazar, Bertuzzi, and then Renzel. So that whole second line, Teravainen, Nazar, Bertuzzi. So those would be great streams. They're all less than 20%, less than 15%. I'd probably order them. Give me Nazar first, then Teravainen, then Bertuzzi. Those are all good streams. Get the Tuesday game. By the way, next week, Chicago plays Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And I'm actually full on Monday in my Cupful League. So make sure that you could actually fit all 4 games before you're like, oh, it's a 4-game week of off days, 100%, 4 games. Like, check to make sure. But if you can fit all 4 games, Chicago ad is pretty good right now to get this extra game on Tuesday and then maybe even hold for the 4 games next week. That whole second line is available in a lot of leagues. They're all second line and top power play. Again, Nazar, then Teravainen, then Bertuzzi would be my priority order. Definitely get Rinzel or Donato if you can get one of them. I guess you could also go Andre Burakovsky, who's been playing on the top line with Bedard and Donato. Do I have a lot of confidence in that working out? No. I think that's probably someone you can get for the Tuesday game and then move on from Burakovsky. Don't worry about the 4-game week next week. But you never know in a single game against Florida with a bunch of injuries. Okay, so next up, Colorado. I already mentioned Wedgwood as a clear guy to go for until we know more about Mackenzie Blackwood. I could check Twitter. Here's a tweet right here. Mackenzie Blackwood is joining the Avs for practice. That just came out 3 minutes ago. So does that mean he's going to play? Well, I added him. Free ad drops today. I'll just have to move on. Though I did drop Forsling to get him and stash people, and Forsling plays Tuesday. I could do better than Forsling, I think. I'll have to look through my free agency. Okay, I'll have to listen to this podcast. Okay, so Chicago. Colorado. That's where we are. I'm working off the rust here. It's the first matchup maximizer of the season. I would look at... Colorado, there's not really anyone. I'm just going to say it right there. Everyone's going to be taken, I think, that you'd be interested in. The top 6 is McKinnon, Lehkonen, Natchez, Nichushkin, Nelson, Landeskog. I don't think any of them are available in any of your leagues. Do you want a third liner? Do you want Ross Colton? Do you want Olofsson? I think you can do better. So I think we can just move on here. Brent Burns is fun. Okay. If you have an open D spot on Thursday also, so you can get the Tuesday and then also Thursday, go get Brent Burns. Let's see what he can do in Colorado. Don't expect too much, but he's interesting enough for me to give a shot to. Okay, so then continuing down the list, we got the Oilers playing Wednesday. There's one obvious name on Edmonton to target as a streamer, and that's Trent Frederick, because he's been playing in preseason with McDavid and Draisaitl, all on the same line. McDavid looks like he just signed a contract around the time I started recording this. So big news. I guess that will be discussed on short shifts later this week. But yeah, get Trent Frederick. And then if you can't get Trent Frederick and you want an Oiler, I don't know. The thing is, when McDavid and Draisaitl are together, it's hard to expect too much from anyone else. Maybe Savoy, who's been playing with Nugent Hopkins and Mangiapane. So you can go Savoy or Mangiapane, I guess, would be the next best. But try to get Frederick if you can. It's pretty sweet. Against Calgary on Wednesday, they can score some goals against Calgary, right? Okay. Florida plays Tuesday against Chicago, and then Thursday, Saturday. And then 4 games next week also. A lot of injuries, but still there are people in the lineup. They had a practice today. They were rolling a top power play of Bennett, Reinhart, Marchand, Ekblad, and Jones. I'd imagine you can't get any of them. Anton Lundell was on the second power play and also centering his line with Luosterainen. Not Marchand. It's Lundell, Luosterainen, Reinhart today. Then Marchand was with Bennett and Verhaeghe. So if you can get Anton Lundell, I'm into Anton Lundell. I think that he could end up being a hold, even if he's off the top power play. I just think Lundell is potentially a good player that's never had the opportunity to play big minutes, and maybe now will be his chance with Barkov out. So give him a shot. If you can't get Lundell, and we're getting now into the people who are available to me, for example, in Cupful. Actually, I can't even get Eetu Luosterainen. He's been taken by John, one of my competitors. But I would take Eetu Luosterainen. If he's playing with Lundell and Reinhart, that's not too shabby at all. So he would be my next bet. Maybe Maki Samoskevich. He's had some stretches of looking good. He's a prospect that got onto the scene last year, and maybe he'll get more ice time now in his second year. So yeah, Samoskevich, I think, or Luosterainen would be the 2 forwards I would look at. If you can get a Forsling, I just dropped him. No, I don't know if I should have, but maybe Forsling. That would be it. But yeah, mainly I think I've given you the Florida guys that I'd be interested in. All right, we talked to LA. Montreal goes Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So you can get that Montreal. Montreal, by the way, is playing Toronto on Wednesday. Montreal-Toronto generally, I think, is a high-scoring game. Though I do recall last year, didn't Montreal shut out Toronto? Montembeault had this great game, and it was it's going to be such a huge year. They ended up being, but they sucked for a while before they started being good again. So Montreal's lines have been Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky. And then I'm seeing Kapanen, Demidov, and Newhook. So Kapanen made the team, I guess. That's cool. That's Oliver Kapanen. If he's playing with Demidov, I like that. Then Doc, Bolduc, and Gallagher. And then Line A on the 4th line with Evans and Anderson. Wow. Okay. Who am I going to recommend here? So obviously you can't get Demidov or Slav or Suzuki or Caulfield. You're not going to get Hudson or Dobson. So I guess anyone else is probably up for grabs. Line A is actually rostered in 40% of leagues, but honestly, he's not the person I would want if this is going to be what the deployment is. Zach Bolduc didn't have the best training camp. Still kind of interesting to me, but I think I'm just going to Play it safe here. Kirby Dach, he's been good before. He's had a lot of time to prepare for this with all of his time out of the lineup. I guess I'd go for Kirby Dach. I don't know. Maybe the Montreal's not... It's just really tricky right now to decide who. Like, I guess someone playing with Demidov could be good, so like Kapanen, if you want to take a swing on him. But I'd probably just play it safe with Kirby Dach. Hopefully he plays the whole game. I like Caden Gooley, by the way, on defense. He's good for periffs. Honestly, I might be taking Gooley over Mike Matheson at this point. Now that you've got Hudson and Dobson, so forget about any power play opportunities really for anybody aside from those two. So I think in terms of just a minute-munching defenseman who shoots a decent amount and has some periffs, I'd be more interested in Caden Gooley at this point, see if he takes a step forward. Okay, next up, we're almost done here. Yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This team is not deep at all, but you're going to want a guy playing with Crosby and Raquel, and that has been Koivunen. So he's definitely the guy that I would be taking a look at on Pittsburgh. I mean, what else could you want? It's a decently high pedigree prospect. You're playing on the top line with Sidney Crosby. I think, end of story. I think, need I say more? Ville Koivunen. Just take him. That's a good spot. Get the Tuesday game and you can move on. He'd probably be one of my best bets for Tuesday. I don't think Crosby's going pointless against the Rangers. They can do something against the Rangers. So Koivunen, aside from him, then you look at the rest of the lineup. Malkin, Brazeau, and Mantha. I don't know. Mantha maybe. Take a shot. If it's super deep league, fine. Go Mantha. Or Malkin might be available. Take Malkin if he's out there. I don't know if I believe too much in him in this last season of his, but I'll take him for a stream. Let's go on from Pittsburgh. It's a depressing looking lineup. Sorry, Pens fans. Rust is injured, I guess, right now. Is that what's going on? So... yeah. Sorry. It's probably not good podcasting. I'll just move on. We only have a couple teams left here. We've got the Toronto Maple Leafs playing Montreal on Wednesday, as we've discussed. A couple of really fun options there because, of course, the Leafs have been rolling with Max Domi, or they were rolling with Max Domi on the top line. I need to correct myself. But then there was an injury, and now Domi is on the third line again. Now because they had to move him back to center. So Domi with Robertson and Joshua, which makes Domi not interesting, which then elevates Matias Maccelli back to the top line where he started training camp when Domi was injured. How about that turnaround? So yeah, take Maccelli playing with Matthews and Nyes. He can get an assist. And then if not, Bobby McMahon playing with Tavares and Nylander. So those are your two obvious Toronto streams, Maccelli or McMahon. Enough said, right? I don't know. Get some guy in the top 6 on the Leafs. Maybe Montembeault won't get a shutout this time to start the season. Okay, last up, Vegas Golden Knights. They play on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So that Wednesday game is against LA. And again, that's like LA's on the back half of a back-to-back. So maybe they're tired. They're playing their backup goalie in Forsberg most likely. So this could be a game where you get some points from whoever you stream in from the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm taking a look and seeing Barbashev has been lining up with Eichel and Marner. Smash that. Take that 100%. Only 27% rostered. Maybe a hold all season. But if he's not rostered now, at least take him for Tuesday and then reassess. I think that's an easy one. After that, it gets really hard, I guess. You got Mark Stone now on a line with William Karlsson and Riley Smith. So I like Mark Stone a lot. So maybe Karlsson or Smith are good. And then Hurdle's been centering another line. So they're spreading things out with Saad and Holtz. I would probably go with William Karlsson here of the potential streamers. Karlsson's only rostered in 8% of leagues. Playing with Mark Stone, I like it. Pray for Hurdle. It's not an exciting line, but he'll still have the power play. But yeah, I think that will do it. Barbashev or Karlsson, again, are my recommendations from Vegas if you can get one. We've done it. Okay, this is the first episode of Matchup Maximizer in the books. We'll have another one this weekend where the schedule is a little bit more diverse for the following week. We've got a few teams playing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. We've got a couple teams going Monday, Tuesday. I always love grabbing a team that plays Monday, Tuesday. If you can fit both games, then you can reassess from there. So make sure you're subscribed to Keeping Karlsson to get the next Matchup Maximizer. Get a couple short shifts that are going to come out over the next couple of days. Obviously, Brian and I will be right here for our mega show on Sunday night, the first regular mega show of the season. I'm really excited to get going. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that you will be along for the ride with us. Good luck in week 1, and we will see you soon. Bye.